Myself.
So how was it getting that settled? What can you tell us about that decision? What kind of led up to those conversations?
Yeah, an easy decision at the end of the day for me. I get to come to work here every single day, and I've got to have a huge part of building this club with a bunch of really good people, and I think that's why I was really excited to come back for year two. These conversations started towards the end of last year. I knew that they were taking a risk in me, and so we worked on a very mutually respectable deal to start, because of them hiring a person that didn't have a lot of experience. And so my goals and ambitions, as in everything, was always to take a role and do very well at it, and I thought I could. And so luckily we had a lot of success in year one, and so those conversations opened up pretty quickly, I think, whenever they saw what we were building here. And so I'm thankful, I'm grateful. We have fantastic owners, we have a fantastic facility, it's an unbelievable city and community, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
How long is the extension for?
I could just say it, I guess 3.5 years. Yeah, from this year. Yeah,
this year,
yeah.
And then 3 after that?
Yeah, correct. Or no. 3.5 from today.
From today?
Yeah. Or from January 1st.
Sure. Gotcha. You mentioned that you haven't had a role like this before, something you obviously had in your sights. What's the experience been like? How much have you enjoyed the process and been obviously satisfied with the outcome?
Yeah, it's been incredible. You learn every single day. I've had a lot of mentors that told me you'll never know until you get into the role of how to navigate it day to day, and I can confidently say that is the case. You show up most days and something happens that you're not prepared for, you're not ready for. But I think the processes that we've been able to build out, the people that we've been able to hire are very high level, and I think that's translated to success very quickly. And we're fortunate, and we've got a good group of players, and we've got a good group of staff. And I think it's hopefully that continues, and that we can continue to build on it.
Does your extension also coincide in timeline-wise with Mikey's extension for the club as well?
Yeah, slightly different timelines, but similar.
And in terms of building this squad up, what have you seen now, having seen the 2026 version of SanDiego.FC, and speaking about you wanting to add someone in the midfield, is that still something that you're looking for in this upcoming window, potentially loans coming in?
Yeah, we're still looking for potentially one more. I think it all depends on the right timeline. It all depends on the right player. We have our eyes on a few. We've really tried to go after the domestic market just because of the international prices of international spots, which have only continued to increase because of the difficulties in obtaining green cards and everything else that comes with it. But I think we're also very happy with where we are. We watch training every single day, and I think the squad is much deeper than it was last season, especially at this time. We've been able to bring in a lot of really good young players, some that have already debuted for us, and hopefully we can continue to get fit. That would be another thing that's really important for us, is getting these guys back that had long-term injuries last season, and we're getting closer and closer to that.
Yeah, somebody who's been connected with R2D. Can you talk about the development of Brian Zamblé and his goal, debut, and everything that comes with that?
Yeah, a really special moment for the whole organization. That's something that you get goosebumps at. I don't think you could have predicted it any better than that, and I think that's what the messages on my phone were after. I've been fortunate to go visit those guys a lot, and so I sent a lot of thank you messages. Thank you to the teachers that started with him when he was 11 years old, and I'm fortunate I get to be in a position that gives these kids these opportunities at the end, but the reality is there's so much work that goes in before that, and everybody at Right to Dream deserves tremendous amount of credit for that, and Brian deserves a lot of credit for that, to be able to put it all together, right? Unbelievable goal on his first touch as a professional. We're really excited for him as he continues to develop this year, but it was a huge moment for the whole organization, the whole club, and I think that's a goal and a moment that people will remember for a long time.
And on the action items on your desk on that same position, what we've been talking about, Lozano and his situation, you and Mike had mentioned that there have been clubs that were interested. Is there any update on that, or what the situation is with Lozano moving forward? Will he be here through the summer?
Yeah, there is interest, but there's no update at this time. As soon as there is an update, I'll be sure to let you guys know and be as transparent as we can be.
How's your job changed now that it's year 2 as opposed to year 1?
Year 2 is a lot easier than year 1. Less moving players in, less players just to bring in from a squad. Now it becomes individual. How do we get better in specific positions? How do we try to extend people that we want to keep around for a long time? How do we start to prepare ourselves for the next guy up if we happen to sell some players to Europe? These are all squad planning things that we go through on a day-to-day basis, and now that we have a year under our belt, I think there is a lot of interest out there for our players, and we know that, so it's about trying to build the squad to be as sustainable as possible. So that's how it's probably changed the most. We're fortunate we had a lot of players coming back. We have a lot of staff coming back. And so we've been able to create that continuity and build in our processes, and we're trying now to prioritize where we can get better. And that's not to try to focus on every little thing to get better, because we'll overwhelm ourselves, and we did a lot of really good things last year, but really trying to go into the details and see how we can continue to improve.
So it's still something new every day, just because now you're not drinking out of a fire hose. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Everything. I mean, every day you walk into this facility seems to be something new. And so, yeah, we have a couple of open roles that we're trying to hire from a sporting standpoint. And then we also have, again, we're always looking with the market open at market opportunities. Are there people that we can do now that can impact us later? Are there people that can come in now and impact the group? And then to the point on Hirving, we're also trying to get a player or two out still because we want to try to set them up to be successful too.
What's been the most personally gratifying part of this job for you?
Oof. It's a tough question, but I do think that moment at the end of the game is one of them, just because I remember seeing Brian, my last day at Monaco and my first day on the job at Right to Dream was our International Academy played Monaco's Elite Development Group, and I remember Brian playing in that game, and I remember Caleb playing in that game, who's now done an unbelievable job at FC Nordsjælland and will probably go on to the Premier League very soon. So being able to see those guys that long ago, and then seeing their journey since then, going and being able to visit them at their actual academies, being able to integrate and learn from the people in this organization, and then being able to build this, and that's the culture, that's the team, and seeing it happen in the way that it did, that's a really special one. And so that's probably one that I'm looking back and I pat everybody on the back in the whole organization because of all the work that goes into it and all the investment.
Obviously, a team that makes an impact like that, like those players don't, sprout up everywhere.
Yeah.
But given the system, the international aspect of it, like this seems like something you guys have at your disposal. Like, how deep is that, group of players that you could call up from a different team or from academy and have a pretty immediate impact for you guys?
Yeah, that is our superpower, and I think we've said it from day one, and these are the moments too that help exponentially grow those and hopefully speed things up. It was amazing getting videos from the International Academy celebrating when they were watching the goal, and that's part of this. Is a global game, and we have these people now that start to see themselves out there, and I think that was part of the reason why we brought guys back like Ima and why Marcus is such an important player for us, because our players in their academy need to see themselves in this organization, and so I think that will only continue. We have a very deep pipeline, and we're also, the plan is to build that out here too, and so I think whenever you couple all four of our academies really up and running and operating, it will make my job a whole lot easier, because it's just then about making sure that those players have the right opportunity and the right space to be able to come into the team and do what we know they can.
And with your newness to this specific role, you make a bold move before the season that is still unresolved. How much do you see the extension as, a pretty clear vote of confidence for what you've done in spite of all that?
Yeah, I think, again, these conversations were all going on for many weeks and months, but it is a tremendous vote of confidence from leadership and from ownership that we're doing things in the right way here. And I think that's what's really important for us, and the same reason why we extended Mikey. I think whenever people get into these roles and they show that they are capable, they show that they have a growth mindset, and they're willing to keep getting better and improve, and also show that they're committed to what this organization is, I think is really important. And so I sent a note to Lutfi, I sent a note to Mr. Mansour, and thankfully he was here and we got to catch up. But I'm just really thankful for the trust in me, but also the trust in this whole project and what we're building.
Right on.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.